Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky.
Good morning.
Right before I push play, Jason says, be pliable. And then he starts picking his nose.
My nose feels like it has something in it. More than usual.
I'm going to be very vulnerable this morning.
Let's have it.
I have a fear. And so I've asked Jason if maybe he can coach me through it on air in front of all of you, because maybe you might have the same fear. My fear is that I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my time. And let me tell you how this works against me.
Tell me more.
Because when I fear that I waste my time, when I have that fear, then I constantly have this feeling like I need to be doing something. I need to be working toward my goals. I constantly feel like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. I have this to-do list. And sometimes I'm even creating busy work for myself because I think it makes me feel valuable.
Tell me more.
Gosh. I think we just got to the root of the problem.
Sometimes we just have to say it out loud, and we have to allow ourselves to get vulnerable. And if we say it out loud and don't judge ourselves in it, it allows it space to say, this is what's really going on.
Okay, so if you didn't, I'll just catch that because I just caught myself as I was saying it. The problem is yesterday I decided I just wanted to watch some documentaries on TV. I decided, you know what? It's my day to do what I want to do. I'm not going to work today. I'm just going to take the day to do what Jana wants to do. The problem is, as soon as I started to do that, I felt guilty. I felt so guilty for watching TV.
Guilt leads into anxiety, and that leads into more guilt.
And so I told Jason, I go, he came home and he said, how did you enjoy your day? Well, I didn't really enjoy my day because I sat there and I was like, oh, I really should be doing this and I have this to do and I really need to be doing this. And oh my gosh, I could have been so much more productive today. What am I doing? Why am I laying here doing this? I really need to be doing these things to make my dreams come true and to make my potential happen and to make God proud. Like it all comes down to making God proud.
You were covered in should all the way up to your needs.
But God, the problem with that is that sometimes it leads to burnout. Mm-hmm. And I've experienced that before in the past, is that sometimes I can work myself into a tizzy, trying to just work from the time I wake up in the morning. And sometimes I will not even sleep because I will get up earlier and earlier, stay up later and later and later, to the point where I'm working. I'm a workaholic is what people call it.
So the whole thing about athletes, about great machines, like the best machines in the world.
Yes.
You even hear it in your computer.
Yeah.
Is there's this stretch, like the working part, and then there's the recovery part, the reboot.
And I'm not giving myself time to reboot or recharge.
And if you don't give your phone, like if you don't reboot your phone, it works slower. It doesn't work as efficiently. If you don't,
he just said I'm working slower.
If you don't give your race car the pit stops, you're gonna clunk out on the track. You're not gonna finish the race, and if you do finish the race, you're gonna finish last.
He just called me a clunker. My husband just called me a clunker. Well, that is true. I'm clunking out, and that's exactly what's happening. Now, if you just watch the beginning of this, as I was speaking out loud, the aha moment that I literally had as I was saying this out loud is that the reason that I do that, it's almost like I'm creating busy work for myself because it makes me feel valuable. And it probably goes back to when I was younger. I remember when I was little, my mom always had a to-do list. Like when I was really little, my mom always had a to-do list, and we had this yellow Chevette, which later became my car, and I always called it my vet.
You loved it.
I loved that car. I loved it, loved it. But anyway, we would get in the Chevette and we would drive around, and sometimes we would even drive around, like she would pick me up from the swimming pool, and we'd have to put our towels down on the seats
yeah.
because we didn't want to get them wet. We had to take good care of the car. And we would even go to the grocery store in our bathing suits.
Got to get it done.
Right? Because we were so busy, busy, busy. And I would look at her and I would think she was just so valuable and awesome. And I wanted to be like her. I wanted to be busy like my mom.
She's important.
She was
has
important.
Things to do. She
Yes.
has people to see and things to do.
She had people to do and things to see. Or things to do and people to see.
That's right.
So
how can you
see what we do to ourselves? It's all in our heads.
How can you see that you're so valuable that you
Yeah.
have to rest the machine, because you wouldn't run $1 million machine till it gave out on you?
Okay, let's don't call me $1 million.
$1
billion.
A priceless machine.
Multi-billion.
Priceless.
That's B. Multi with a B. Multi-billion-dollar machine. You're right. This multi-billion-dollar machine that has books and products. You should see the product that came out yesterday.
Yeah,
My
I
new
love it.
gratitude journal just got
I love
printed.
it.
Our first one
The
of
prototype,
many,
the prototype.
of many that will be for sale soon. Oh my gosh. Yes, this multi-billion-dollar machine needs to rest, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And just reframe the value and say, if I'm valuable, I need to reinvest in my rest.
I think as Americans, though, and tell me if you guys agree with this, put it in the chat, put it in the comments. For some reason, we value time. We value our time.
But we put the value in the work, not in the actual time itself.
No, I think we put value in the time itself. Like if I have an appointment with somebody and somebody is late,
Oh, yeah.
I get very, very, you know what? You're not really worth my time, right?
Yep.
And then I
'Cause
also
you're
value
considering
my own time.
But so the distinction there is, because you've invested that time in the meeting,
Yes.
that person is wasting the time. So they are taking time away
Yeah.
from the meeting by not being there.
Okay.
If you say, I am investing this time in rest,
Yeah.
and you don't show up to rest,
Yes.
you are not showing up for the meeting.
Okay. Are you guys following this at all? Do you ever have the feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm wasting my time. I'm wasting my time. I'm just wasting my life away. Or like, oh, I'm going to get left behind. That's another thought that I have. I'm going to get left behind. Jessica says, I'm so excited about the gratitude journal.
I get I'm very kind of unforgiving about people being late.
Yeah.
And I do apologize for it, but it's the way I am. If I tell you we're having a meeting at a certain time,
Yeah.
if you're 5 minutes late, I'm probably not going to be there.
Okay, so I know that about you, but I also know, because I was watching this documentary yesterday, and it actually, one of the scenes on there was someone was early. And that became an issue where the person said, you know what? It is so disrespectful when people show up early because you are encroaching on my time.
Well, I'm going to encroach on your time because I will always be 5 to 10 minutes early. I won't go in
Mhm.
Like if it's a closed door,
Yeah.
but I'll be in the waiting room. So that's on
What about
you.
a dinner party?
Dinner party?
Will you
Yeah.
wait in the driveway?
No, I'll knock on the door.
You will?
Yeah.
5 minutes early?
Oh, 5 minutes? Yeah. Now,
Because
30,
we
45,
showed up
30 or
at
45 minutes
we
early?
showed up
No.
at Life Group a little early, and I feel like we kind of got there when they were still finishing their dinner, and I didn't
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
they were serving dinner.
Yeah, and I was like, I think this is wrong. I think we need to go back out in our car and wait.
Well, the other part of that is if you have a group of people coming to your house,
Yeah.
maybe you should have a small window. Like when I schedule my clients,
Yes.
I give myself literally a 30-minute window on each side. Most people won't give themselves 5 minutes on each side, and they're trying to squeeze in as many people as possible.
See, and I don't
And
know.
you
There
have to
I go again. In my head, I'm like, oh, that's not being very productive of my time.
See,
To put 30 minutes on each side of a meeting, I feel like I could be so much more productive with my own time.
for me, it's super productive because it allows me space to be present for the next meeting.
Yes.
It allows me also space to digest the meeting I just left,
Yes.
and then take notes and then go to the bathroom, get water, whatever. But so
Yeah.
if I have 30 minutes
That's
on
always important.
each
to go
side
to
of the meeting,
bathroom.
I can be totally present in with a client,
Yeah.
and then I don't have anything else to worry about.
That is true. You know what? My mom, when I was little, she would sometimes say, I don't have time to go to the bathroom. And I would be like, wow, that's an important person when you don't have time to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. So, and people say, I don't have time to journal. I don't have time to do this. You have bigger problems in life if you don't have time to do the things that are most important to
if you don't have time not to journal,
Yeah.
right?
You don't have time to meditate. If you don't have time to journal, you've got bigger problems. It's not that you're busy. It's that you don't have your priorities right, I think.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the coaching,
Well,
Coach Husband. Coach Jason, he's available if anyone needs him. Thank you for joining us. Oh, Vicky's here. Same thing happened to me the other day. We should not feel guilty for scheduling 0 tasking time for ourselves, time for our souls to do whatever it is that we want to do.
recharge, reboot.
And like
Relax.
Jason said, when we do that, we will operate.
More efficiently, more effectively.
Awesome. Awesome work. Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye. If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.